Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot as a team, and especially last game we talked about like carrying baggage with us, and we just can't afford that. And so I've been working hard to play with a fresh mind, to not let past performances weigh on me, and I think that's what I've been focusing on, and still have room to grow that way. But I think that helped me out tonight.
And not to get too deep or anything, but like obviously that's something that's kind of easier said than done.
Yes.
Closing one chapter, moving on to the next.
100%.
Can you kind of speak to that process and maybe some strides you've made in that throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Coach yesterday, and it's not even just a complete switch of not carrying any baggage, but it's going from carrying 60% baggage to 40%, and so we're all working to get lower and lower, and so that's the focus.
Coach complimented your energy, that you gave the energy boost. When you go into the game, do you think that's what I'm going to give a spark?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal of anybody coming into the game off the bench is you need to provide something, and energy is one of those things. Basketball is a game of energy. It's a game of runs, and so if we can create energy, I think that will serve us well in the future.
6 rebounds tonight. What was the key to that?
I actually didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, we focus on that every day in practice, and winning 50-50 balls, and I think a lot of my rebounds were 50-50 balls that were being tipped around, and it's just focusing on winning those, and I think I just got more come my way tonight maybe than usual, but I was glad to be able to win those.
We've all been through this. You're just getting reacclimated. How much confidence did for you tonight that Mark said you're the first man off the bench, just go get them, and you quickly made an impact there?
Yeah, I mean, confidence is a huge thing, and it's like you said, it's easier said than done to play with confidence, and so it's a big stepping stone, but continue to try to get better. And I mean, coaches and teammates are great at feeding into that confidence, and so I appreciate that.
Coach compared you to Bamboo. I'm not quite sure what that was all about, but it was about your growth. Where do you think the greatest growth in your game has come?
Well, I think the reference to bamboo was they grow roots, and then all of a sudden they grow really fast, where you can't really see the growth that's going on until it starts shooting up really fast. And I think that may be what because we've talked about that before. But I mean, I hope I can continue to grow like bamboo, is go fast. And I mean, putting in the work every day, I know what I can do, and I think teammates do as well. It's just continuing to stack nights like this. It's continue to on to the next one.
You seem to take a lot of pride in the defensive effort that you put in. You know, losing Lamont and Jackson. Coach Pope was talking about points of attack on defense. Where do you think that will play into the success of this team? How important is your defensive role?
Yeah, I think it can be really important to be out there, and I think it's a big way to be on the floor is to have coaches trust that you can go out and guard the person that is needed. And I think I was doing a good job tonight, and I think I took a few gambles in being in the gap and going for a few steals that ended up going my way. And so I think that is another way that to bring energy to the team is disrupting the offense a little bit, and I think that's what I can continue to bring.
He called you a difference maker for the rest of the year. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility. Do you see yourself as maybe being a defensive stopper out there?
I mean, it is a responsibility, especially with our guys being out like Lamont, and that puts a big defensive weight on our team to be distributed, and I'm glad to take some of that load, and I'm glad to step into that role and hopefully execute every night in that way.
You're just talking about that kind of increased responsibility. I mean, did that affect anything in your preparation, the way that you take a mental approach to the game, just knowing that, hey, I'm going to be counted on now for 12, 15, 20 minutes in SEC games?
Yeah, I mean, we're going through that and getting used to it. I think me, Trent, Travis are going through that same thing and adjusting and seeing how we can affect the game in different ways and pick up the slack of what we're missing from our guys in Jackson and Lamont. And we're going to continue to, I think, shape that and get used to it and figure out what we can do to really help the team.
Oftentimes Coach Pope talks about you guys as a trio. Some people bring up one of you guys and he lumps all you guys in together. Can you just kind of speak to what it's been like growing with those guys this year and maybe sharing some of the same ups and downs and having two other guys who are going through a similar thing?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's tough stepping in and especially in a league like the SEC and playing at Kentucky. There's a big adjustment to it, and I think we're all in it together. And it's nice to have people to relate to and to talk to and to feed off of each other. And so those guys have been a big blessing in my life and here at Kentucky. And I'm glad to go through this journey with them. It's been fun.
If you would compare Collin Chandler, who stepped on this campus many months ago, to Collin Chandler right now, what's the biggest difference?
Man, I think I've grown a lot mentally. I thought I was decently mentally tough coming in, but it's been a lot of learning, a lot of patience, a lot of just like even coming in the summer and not being able to play right away and trying to get used to everything again. It's been an experience that has been full of frustration and all that, but it's helped me a lot, and I'm going to continue to grow. Basketball's a game of frustration, so I'm going to continue to try to respond well to that, and I think that's what I've learned.
How do you feel like all that manifested, or maybe does manifest yourself, if I'm just wrong about all that, Collin, in your game tonight and other times?
Yeah, well, I think with the frustration is trying to learn how to take it in and turn it into energy, turn it into fight. That's been a focus and a learning curve for us, especially for me, and learning how to take the frustration and turn it into something positive, which is something we're continuing to learn. So we're going to try to continue to grow that way.
Just how many
take advantage of it. What was the difference in the second half, defensively, not just for yourself, but for the whole team?
I just felt like we just kept trusting each other more, moving the ball, just giving the confidence to each other. I feel like every shot some guy took on our team, the whole team was behind it whatsoever, so I feel like that made the difference.
Amari, Hope said at the beginning of the year you weren't as dominant in the paint, but just as of late you've kind of bloomed and just became a menace in the paint, if they would say.
Yeah.
What's kind of changed your mentality down there, I guess I could say?
I would just say confidence. I feel like at the start of the year I wasn't really used to the physicality and kind of trying to figure it out still. But now that I figured it out and kind of realized how I can bang up against some of the other bigs, I've took advantage of it and it's working out well.
When you were at Drexel, did you start your college career playing more physical and learn that, hey, I can't do this against maybe some of these smaller guys at this level and change it up?
In that conference it was like, the charges, if you keep banging too much, they'll just drop, and that's something I was always wary of my 4 years, but I feel like now no big is really going to do that. They kind of got pride in taking stands, so just knowing that and just knowing how to get around it is something else. So, yeah.
Is that something you kind of changed up without even thinking about it over time, just to kind of adapt your game to where you couldn't do that at Drexel?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's a lot better, especially in this league, and just working around it, trying to be more creative. So yeah.
How hard is it to have another point guard out there?
Pardon?
How do you feel to have another point guard out there in Collin?
In Collin, it always helps. He played great tonight. Even, you're saying the point guard, but on the boards he was a menace too. He was grabbing every board at the highest point. So, he brought a lot to us tonight. It helps us. So, yeah.
What about having Andrew back to what seems like full strength? How much of a difference does that make?
Andrew's a great guy. We've seen him at the start of the year against Duke, and just bringing that confidence back he had then till now. We can see it flashing, and we're just proud of him and happy that he got us to that point. So.
Amari, how hard is it to get used to different lineup changes?
In practice we don't really. We do it and we try to figure it out. So in game we kind of get used to it, but. We've been playing with each other since June and, not really knowing the lineups. I'm switching at every practice. So even though it may seem tough and something people ain't used to seeing, we're kind of used to it and kind of figure it out as the time goes on. So.
What did you see from Ansley Almanor tonight? He's been in the starting lineup as of late, but got moved with Carr coming in tonight.
Yeah.
What can he do for you guys off the bench?
Yeah, Ansley's a winner. You seen tonight he got moved to the bench because Andrew's back 100%, and it didn't waver. He still did all the little things, crashing the offensive glass, being shot ready. So, Ansley's a winner. He's a warrior, and he's done all the things he's been doing ever since the start of the SEC. So.
How much has Jackson and Lamont been able to stay engaged, even though they're not out there on the practice court, not on the game court?
Yeah.
How much are they engaged with you guys?
I mean, they've been great. They're still vets, speaking to TP, Collin, and all the younger guys, even me, just with energy and things like that. So they've been great, and they've been vocal from the bench. Even Carr, too, and all the walk-ons like Walker, Grant, and Zach, they've been great, too. So it's a team effort.
We talked about them being, those two being out. What have you seen from Travis Perry in his 2 games that he's been able to start?
Just confident, Some of the shots you see him take, he doesn't even think twice about it. So I feel like that's the biggest thing for him. And, he steps into his role well, so we're proud of him.
The way you guys attacked inside in the second half, was there anything that Coach Pope told you and Andrew to adjust and kind of go down there to start getting more baskets, or what changed for that?
Now when I think about it, he kind of called plays for that to happen, especially with Andrew. So, just seeing that he knew the mismatch in the time and took advantage of it, it was great. And, Andrew, worked it out really well and got all the buckets he needed. So, yeah.
Does that make your job easier when Andrew's playing that more? I mean, obviously he's been out there for a few games now, but when he's playing more physical and you can tell he's kind of a little bit more of himself.
Yeah, I mean, it helps the whole team when, anyone's back to their 100% self, especially with the way we've been practicing in the summer. So seeing that, just, we're proud of him, and it brings a boost to the team. So, yeah, we're just happy that he's got back to that point.
You mentioned Ansley's unselfishness. How much do you think it'll help this team in March to have so many guys who have moved in and out of roles and maybe have that experience, but also have that willingness to play different ways, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's going to help us in the long run, especially when, we get guys back healthy, just keeping the confidence with the other guys who may not play as much when they come back. But I feel like that's just how we are as a team. We all kind of love each other and, just instill confidence in each other, so that goes a long way.
Did you know you were perfect from the field? Perfect from the line, too, at any point?
I knew I was perfect from the line, but not from the field. I thought I missed a shot, but I guess I did. So.
You talked about your improvement scoring around the basket. Is that the biggest difference you notice in your game from the beginning of the year to now, or is there something else?
Yeah, I'll say that. Just, just the way I attack, even though people know I'm going left, just kind of, using my size and weight and just kind of trying to go to that side anyway, and just, just playing in the offense, I feel like I'm more comfortable finding reads and, finding my teammates too. So.
On that dunk you had, you spun right, though, to go into it. Was that just a situational thing? Can you take me through that play? What happened there?
I mean, I think I realized from the Tennessee game they're always going to try to take away the left side. So I just kind of luckily got a spin on him and got ahead of him and, took advantage of that. So.
How did that dunk feel? You had the biggest smile on your face after it.
I mean, it felt great, especially since I went to my right hand. That's a thing, and like a lot of people don't think I can do, so I feel like that was the best thing about it.
How easy does it make your job knowing you got this guy, maybe fully healthy, able to, bang with you down low and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. There was a lot of possessions at the start of the second half. I felt like they had a layup when I couldn't contest, and, Andrew came out of nowhere and was able to pin it off the glass. So, just having that presence, it helps me a lot.
You're obviously a fifth-year college player with a lot of experience behind you, but do you feel like there's still more untapped for this season? I mean, you're talking about getting more confidence, going right, and doing some different things around the basket. Is there more you can even do here?
I mean, for sure. I'm still adapting to the league, I would say. I wish I had, another year to be able to adapt to this league since it's so great, but I feel like that's what it is, just kind of being more confident and just learning new ways I can attack the basket and, in the offense too, and pass the ball. So.
How fast does it seem like this has gone, this one season you guys all have here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy, especially, just yesterday we all just arrived on campus and, moved into the lodge together, and now we only got 5 games left. So it's definitely going quick. I'll say my quickest year for sure. So, yeah.
Amari, you had a career high, I believe, 4 blocks tonight. What was different out there? What were you seeing?
I feel like it was just me helping my guards more, even though they had shooting bigs, just, staying until they went up to attack for layups. So I feel like that's just the main difference, just kind of waiting and kind of sniffing it out, knowing when I'm able to go and when I need to get back. So.
Thanks, Mark.
No problem.
What was it like to just see Collin have the night that he had?
Yeah, I mean, it was great, just the confidence he's had, just bringing the ball up the court, all the rebounds he got too. I feel like that's something which was underrated today, just how many rebounds he got and where he got them. So, yeah, he was great tonight. He was very confident in himself.
As one of the veterans on the team, not necessarily on the team, but just in general with basketball, what is it like to see those freshmen kind of develop into the players that they have become?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun, Everyone on the team has been there at some point, when they're not playing as much, kind of learning a new system, school as well. There's a lot going on as a freshman, so seeing them have that confidence, bring it to life on court, it means a lot to us, and we're proud of them. So.
Do you like the Mountain Mamba?
Yeah, I do. I like Travis's better though. The Lion County. And Lion King. Yeah, I like that one better. So.
Amari, what are some of the positives you take from tonight as you go into the game on Saturday against Alabama?
Yeah, I feel like the togetherness we had tonight kind of showed and just went a long way, especially with confidence and on the defensive end too. Towards the start of SEC play, a lot of people didn't think it was good defensively, but tonight we just kind of trusted and leaned on each other, and I feel like if we carry that on for the rest of the games, we're going to be hard to beat. So.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I've been feeling a lot better these last couple of weeks and trying to stack some good practices, some good days in a row, trying to get back in the rhythm and feeling a lot better. Appreciate it.
What does it just feel like to have that performance back on the court?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's been a lot of hard work every morning with our training staff and everything. So it's been a long road, and so we knew it was a matter of time before it was going to be that. So being able to see some results is awesome.
Coach said you were really able to get after it these last 2 days of practice. How much of a difference do you think that it makes when you head to a game?
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference, I think. Just trying to go through as much game simulation as you possibly can in the days leading up to it. Gives you confidence in just your abilities, trying to get back to what you're able to do, and injuries have a mental impact as well sometimes. So definitely trying to use practice as ability to try and get back confident in my body.
So how you fended off the frustration of not being able to do things your body's been doing your whole life.
Yeah, it definitely can be frustrating. I think just got a great support group around me that helped me through some of that frustration, I think, and just trusting in that it's not always going to be like that, and being able to turn around. I knew it's going to, and I'm confident in myself. So that's kind of what you lean on in those moments of frustration.
Did you feel any extra pressure knowing that you were down a couple of guys and you're still not 100% just to get back out there?
What do you mean, like a couple games ago, trying to get back out?
Yeah, just kind of the last couple
return?
of games you've had some lower minutes.
Yeah, right. Of course, I think it's human nature. Everybody wants to try and contribute at such a high level, especially, like you said, a couple guys get on. Everybody wants to be able to step up and wants to try and be able to help out and everything like that. So certainly it's added frustration, but I'm a type of guy, you try to do everything you can to win. So, any sort of contribution that I could give and we come out with a win, I'm going to be very happy with the way that we perform. So,
do you think Amari has got better with your absence than he was maybe earlier in the season?
I'm not sure. I think, this could be correlated and not caused. I think for him, he's continued to get better and better as the season has gone on. He's super comfortable. I think a lot of teams are trying to pressure him, get out half court, even past half court sometimes, but he's gotten more and more comfortable handling the ball out there, and credit to him. We put a heavy load onto him, and he carries it very well for us.
You guys have mentioned a lot that anyone's night can be anyone's night at any point. What was it like to see Collin put up the performance again tonight?
Oh man, super proud of him. We're super happy to see how hard he works and everything, and it's the same thing for him. It's kind of similar. He really obviously wants to be able to step up and step into that role, and we knew it was going to happen for him. He's done a great job in practice for us, and so being able to see, like we talked about, see those results on the floor is really special, and I'm really proud of him. He really did an awesome job tonight, just playing super hard.
Can you put yourself in his place? If you were asked to give up basketball for 2 years, how hard it would be to pick it back up at this level?
Yeah, I think definitely, Collin's an awesome kid. He's led by the Lord, and I think that's a foundation of this team, and we all rely on him. It's been cool to grow together and grow closer to the Lord and closer to each other at the same time this year. And so, I feel like for him, talking to him, getting to know him, for him it was a no-brainer. He felt led. He's called to serve for him, and so I think those 2 years were very special for him, transformative in his life, and so it's bigger than basketball at the end of the day. And so I think obviously coming back, it's gonna take some time, and he used the summer to try and get his feet under himself a little bit more. It's definitely certainly dangerous and injury-wise coming back after not really playing at that high level for 2 years. So for him, I'm just super proud of him. He's able to do what he's called to do, and then also be able to come back and now trying to get into a rhythm and be a vital part of this team.
Were there any? How different is this team defensively without Lamont and Jackson?
Definitely is different. You know, I think they bring so much to this team, and especially defensively. You know, we just don't necessarily have someone like Lamont. He feels super comfortable. He's going to pick you up 94, be a solo press for us sometimes, you know, and you know that's just who he is, and it brings just a different energy about our defense. I think we trying to be able to adapt, try to be able to completely change it, you know, with some of the guys out, and everybody's kind of stepped up in that area, trying to be way more aggressive on the ball, make people feel uncomfortable, and we tried to learn specifically from the Ole Miss game is really where we felt that, try to go to the drawing board again and really try to be a little bit more aggressive and try to throw some punches defensively.
Were there any signs that Collin was on the cusp of a breakthrough, something that he maybe didn't practice that kind of showed like confidence is where it needs to be?
Definitely. I think I specifically saw it, you know, all the way back right after Christmas break. We're coming back. We're trying to, you know, we're coming off the Ohio State game, trying to work on ball screen defense and things like that. And I could just see it kind of, you know, everybody, you know, as a freshman, you have those moments where you kind of feel like you are starting to really figure it out. And credit to him, you know, he's continued to stick with it. Obviously, that was a couple months ago, and still we're just kind of getting to, you know, the tip of the iceberg for him now. And so it's been a long time coming for him, and we've seen it, we've known it, and so I'm super proud of him.
What does it mean that he is making that change to learn point guard to help this team, you know, just doing what he can?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. You know, I think you know, he's trying to fit in any way he can, and wants to be there for the team. It just shows who he is, and he knows how important it is for us to be super confident in a primary ball handler, and so for him to be able to try and step into that role is super special, and will just help him in his basketball journey throughout the next couple of years.
How good did it feel to get back in the starting lineup and feel like you're 100% healthy and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. It feels great just trying to do whatever you can to help the team and get my number called a whole lot in the post and have some success there, whether it was myself or you know, finding other people, getting advantages and kind of working from there. So it feels great, and I'm super excited we were able to, you know, get this win back and against the team we lost to earlier this year.
Now, this is your first chance at that revenge you just brought up. How did it feel coming into the game? Like, how big of a part of the conversation was that? And then what was it like to actually get it done?
Yeah, it's definitely a big part. You know, we really wanted to try and learn from what we did the first time. We turned the ball over a whole lot, and we let their aggressiveness really dictate a lot of what we were doing. And so I felt like we did a great job of responding and came out with a purpose and really performed well.
You talked about Collin. Sorry.
Yeah.
You talked about Collin as a point guard again tonight.
Yeah.
How many point guards do you think are on this roster?
Wasn't it Vanderbilt listed everybody as a point guard? It's everybody. We all got point guards.